So, a lot of stuff going on here. So, to do your final drawing, this is a final drawing. I'm going to be going off this one. I'm going to show you guys how to do, I'll show you how to do the wall layout, how to draw them. So, I'll draw like this bedroom, this closet, I'll do this bathroom, and then I'll actually, instead of putting the kitchen up here, instead of going through, I'll just put kitchen stuff like right here. So you'll be able to see how to do the doors and all these fixtures and things like that. I'll show you how to do these fixtures too. Okay. This paper is different than this one. This year I got you 1/8 graph paper, which makes it a little bit easier versus last year. So we're going to kind of massage some numbers a little bit. So it doesn't necessarily matter if on here, if I were to measure this out at 1/4 inch scale, because we're doing all this at 1/4 inch scale. Your last one, your final copy comes in at 1/4 inch scale. This one is exactly, this one is actually exactly at 13 feet. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure, because I don't want to have to sit there and think about adding on these 6 inches all the time for the thickness of the wall. I'm going to measure to the middle of the walls, which is what we would be doing if this were a true architectural drafting class, which it's not. So that's why I say if our numbers come out a little bit different, it's okay. So for example, if I'm going to the middle and this doesn't end up being 13, sorry, let me get that out of the way. This ends up being like 12 feet 6 inches, just call it 13. It's okay. All right, so I drew this corner right here. I'm going to go ahead on the outside of it and add the 6 inches to it, which conveniently, as long as you still have this graph paper that I gave you, you just go right outside of one of these boxes, because it's 1/8 inch, and in 1/4 inch scale, 1/8 of an inch is 6 inches. So that's why it's nice and convenient today. All right, so this one's 60 wide. You can go ahead and draw the entire 60 if you want to start with. I'm not going to. I kind of left it open here, and you can't see on the screen, but I've left it open like right over here. I haven't gone all the way. So I'm just going to start this way and build out this way. Okay, so for this one, it's a 10 by 13 room. So in 1/4 inch scale, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to take the 0 and put it right on here. If you watch, I'm going to put it right in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and eyeball it. I got the eyeball. Right in the middle, I'm going to go over 12, 13, and I end up right in the middle of one of these boxes right here. Doesn't matter though, because there and there, I'm right on a little blue line of the graph paper. I'm going to draw these lines up like this. Okay? Do the same thing over here for 10 feet. Put the 10 right in the middle of this one, like right here. I'm going to go over here. There's my 10 feet, and then mark there, and mark there. Makes it easier when you have this graph paper. And then go all the way across. Oh, you're also going to need, when you're doing this, obviously a good scale. All the scales I gave you guys should be good. You'll need an eraser. You don't want to have an eraser. And you're going to want one of these two architectural templates. Whichever one's up to you. These are the older ones that I have, but I prefer these. I'll show you why in a few minutes. But these are just as good, if not some people say better, because it has more stuff on them. This has way more features on it than this one does. This one's kind of a more basic one, but I'll show you why I prefer that one later on. But those are the things you're going to need, because we are going to do some erasing. All right, so I went up to 10 feet here, but then I need to add on my closet as well. So let me add on, run out of room here. My 3 feet, so 3, I go right in the middle of this again. And then it goes to here, but then I can just go to this, to that. This thing's going to go over 7, which I'll measure in a second. But that's my wall fix right there. Do my 7 feet, same style. So 7 is going to go right in the middle of this wall. And then I do it here, there. Okay. So you're basically adding on like 3 inches each side. Some of you also will notice that I taped this drawing down. That's just a habit from being a graphic feature, I guess. You do not have to take it down, just makes it a little bit easier so nothing moves around on me. All right, so there's my bedroom and this closet right there. I'm gonna do these two for you. Okay, to do these closet doors, okay, they're 4 feet wide. So basically, I'm gonna choose in quarter scale. You kind of eyeball this. Seems like so 4 feet. I'm gonna put this in right about 1, 2, right here. 0, 4. Put this down like that. And then I'm going to erase what I got in the middle here for my closet doors. 2 types of closet doors you can do. I'm going to do sliders. I like sliders because it's easy. So on this template, and they're on the other template too. I'll do like bifolds, fine. Okay, I'll show you both. You can see where it says door symbol, and it has this little accordion right here, and it just has this space. It's like a little rectangle. That is exactly 4 feet wide. Okay, I'm going to eyeball, put it right in the middle of the wall. Then I'm going to draw a line at the bottom, this wall to the left, about halfway in. Then at the top on the wall on the right, halfway in like that, so they kind of meet but don't touch. And that's how you'll do your sliding doors. Okay, I'll do another one up here for you to show you the bifolds in a minute. Okay, door symbols. All right, so here are all my door symbols. All right, all my door sizes. 2 feet 6 is a pretty common one. That's 30 inches. So I'm going to put a 30-inch door right here. The reason why I like, now this is where you're going to see why I like this template. You see all these shaded in areas right here? That is the exact size of our wall thickness right here. That's why I like this one a little bit better. This one does the exact same thing, except all you do is you line up the wall to this black line on here. And that way it has the template set, all these symbols for these cutouts, they're set a certain distance away, so it's the right distance. Same with this one. Okay, but I like the shaded in one a little bit better. So I'm going to put a 2 foot 6-inch door right here, swinging in, offset. Now notice I had to flip it over because I have it swinging the opposite direction. So I line up this shaded area. It aligns with your walls. I'm going to draw this, trace this out, and this, that. Erase this little part out. That was where the wall was, the door. And that's where my door goes. Okay? So far so good. I'll go ahead and add on another closet here for you to show you this other 3 feet. Okay. So same thing. I want a 4 foot gap here. And I'll line up with the one right underneath it. And then to put bifolds in, I'll show you on this one. This has they both have these triangles on there. It's better labeled on the bigger extended house plan template. They're the same thing. They're made by the same company, right? Both made by the same company, but one's just a little bit bigger. So on this one, I use this triangle right here. See my bifold? This one, it has folding door. Then it has a separate triangle down here for the bifold. So what I'm going to do is take this and line this up against the middle of this little triangle right here. That side. And slide it over. Want that corner of that triangle right there in the middle of the wall there. There's my bifold for that one. All right. Okay. Bathroom. bathroom over here. Actually, I'll do windows too. So I have 3-foot windows right here. You have to decide on your placements. So it looks like this person decided on about 2.5 feet away, right there, and it says right on it it's a 3-foot window. So 3 right here, and they've got 4 feet in between them, and then a 3-foot window. 3-foot window right there. So I have these windows, window, 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 window. Now all I'm going to do for that one is put a singular line right down the middle of it. That's my symbol for a window. You could put 2 if you wanted to. You want to get fancy and put 2? That signifies a double hung window. So you can put 2 if you want to. All right, single hung, double hung. All right, bathroom. And 5 feet 6 inches wide. There's my 5 inches. There, right there. All right. So first I'm gonna put this tub in. Again, you get to use if you're using this one, the shaded in part. Fits right in here. If it made it a little bit too big. All right. And I want it to go this way, so I'm gonna flip it over. Trace out my tub. Okay, and the other thing you have to do is right up above it, you'll have a blue liner from the graph paper. Goes straight across and it's all filled in. This would be like a ledge right here. Looks like I've made mine too big. It wasn't this measured. What did you say? Oh man, it's 7 feet wide. 6.5. What does that mean? There we go. That's why we have erasers. Okay, so this full bath down here is the exact width of the tub. Okay, I'm gonna put a door up here too. Line this thing up. That. Up. Okay, toilet. This one right here, again, it has that shaded in part that you can line up with the wall. Here. Okay, so tub, toilet, now sink. So called lavatories, counter lavatories. On this one, it has a couple, only a few. The extended one has tons of different kinds of lavatory bowls and pedestals and all these things all over here. Okay, wall hung, that's like you go to the bathroom here at school, those are hall hung sinks. Lavatories are made for sinks. Ours are in vanities though, so they're in cabinets. You can still use these. So to get the size of the how far out from the wall the countertop goes, it's right here where it says base cab on here. There's a little dot. Basically, all you do is you line this thing up right here. Fill in the dot. It's that base cab. Cabinet stands for. Now I'll line up right with one of these marks. Just go straight down. And there's going to be the size of my cabinet. I'm sorry, my countertop / cabinet lavatory. Okay, or sink. Fancy word for sink. Then in here, I'm gonna place it wherever I want. If I want it over this way a little bit, so you can have more countertop space for someone, or you can split a different foot right in the middle. Put it there so they could have some room over there. So there's my sink. You do the kitchen the exact same way. Okay, kitchen. We'll pretend this is the kitchen right here. All right, and what I want to do is put in. Again, lining up my wall with this wall. This wall right here, I'm lining up the shaded part of the wall. range is right here. This one has this one's a little bit not as fancy as the range that has the burners right here for your stove. This one's kind of neat because you line up right. I'll put it right here. This thing's gonna go like this. That's gonna stick out, so I need to get rid of that part. Countertop. Then you can see that there's this little line right here that hooks up to these burners that has an outline. You take that outline and center it into the rectangle you just made, and it perfectly aligns those burners for you. That's why you see this little line here joining. Okay, it doesn't have a line on this one, but still has actually the exact same size. Yeah, a little bit bigger. Okay, with the burners. Okay. Sink. So I'm gonna do a double bowl one. Again, use this shaded part. Line it up to the inside of the wall. Now this one you do dot, 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 and then you trace this one side of the bowl. This thing I want a double sink in my kitchen. Then you flip this over like this and line up this part that's already drawn on here. Line up the dots that you just made. Then you can put your other bowl in here for double bowl. Then you connect all these dots. Now I know the ones out towards the front are going to be really close to the edge of the countertop, but that's how it is in your kitchen as well. That's really close like that. And there's other things too. There's refrigerator. Refrigerator's right here. You can place it down here. Don't need to put a swing on the door or anything, but there's your refrigerator. Countertop out of there. So line up the walls. And I'll put the F, the refrigerator. Okay. One of the only other things, it has other things on here too. I mean, you can put a dishwasher on there. Hot water heater, you can just use one of these circles, a 24-inch circle on there. Furnace, you can use a 24-inch furnace. Washer, dryers, already on here. Okay. Washer and dryers are right here on this one. So you're going to be using the template a lot once you get all your doors and windows and things done. You see over here they did a double vanity. They did this little teeny tiny circle in the refrigerator. You don't have to do that. Last thing is dimensioning. So you can see the dimensioning. You try and line them up as much as possible. See how they all align to one another? And they crisscross towards the corner of a room to leave the inside or the middle of the room open so you can put a room label on there. So for this, you'll see we'll put one right here. Slashes. Okay, slashes are for architectural. So drafting people might want to know about arrows. That's for mechanical drawing. And just say this is 13 feet 0 inches. I'll do another one over here. Cross it towards the corner. Space right there. A slash right there. A slash right there. 10 feet 0 inches. You can see you can do your widths of your closets. They did lengths of their closets. One of the things is you don't want to try and go through things. So you can see how they're not putting one right through one of these objects. They put the width of this bathroom up over here. So you avoid, if at all costs, going through an element or going through something. And you can kind of see on here, they lined up as much as possible. They're not all going to perfectly align sometimes, okay? But as much as possible, if you can get them, so see how it aligned, and then they moved it over here, do this one, they moved it back over here, do this one. So they lined these two up, but they didn't put it down here because you don't want to dimension through a door or dimension through anything. And sometimes you won't need some dimensions, like we had the 5'6" here for this one, but we don't need to put the 10 foot because this wall aligns with it, so we know that it's going to be 10 feet. Okay, so that's why that's one of the bonuses of aligning your walls or using walls in the same area. Okay. Finally, filling in the walls, that's up to you. If you want it to look a little bit cleaner, you want it to look a little bit neater, when you're done, it does take a while, you would go then and then fill in the walls. So I'll start over here. Now, in architectural drafting, you don't have to fill them in perfectly. which you can kind of see I have a little bit of a gap of spacing in between here. That's just the style and how it's done. What it does, as you can see, this is going to take you a while to do. So that's why it's not really a requirement if you don't want to. Okay. So that is how you do all of your walls, doors, windows, and all your elements inside for your final drawing. You do a room label on fancy drafting, so I want this to be like, put guidelines on there, say bedroom. One. Okay, so that's what that should look like. Don't really have to label closets unless they're labeled that one. It's kind of sizable, it's big. Put WIC on this one because it's a walk-in closet. They just put their widths of their windows. They didn't put how far away they are. Do like to zoom in here so you can see how they did fill in their walls, and you can see how it's just very ever so slightly. They don't go to the edge to make sure that that line stays actually straight. All right, sliding glass door back there. Any questions, let me know.